What's up, everybody? I go by the name.
What's up, everybody? I go by the name
of Doggie. You are now listening to No Filter.
No Filter
podcast.
means honesty.
No Filter means honesty.
You
Then this ain't the podcast for you.
Then this ain't the podcast for you
today.
We gonna be honest today.
Yeah, what it is, people? It's your boy Doggie Diamonds. Another episode of Doggie Diamonds No Filter. We gonna go through this real quick. Me and this man got so much history together.
Dogs, what up?
This would be like it'd probably be a 10-hour podcast. So we gotta cram all this in. I know this man for over 20 years.
Oh man, blessings.
When he met me, I was in the crib doing beats and shit like that.
Yeah, you an SP. You the SP architect to me. Yeah. Like I used to see Easy Mo B just stop by your house like it was nothing. It's crazy. Crazy.
I known you for a while. Give them some of your names.
The first name people might know me as is Adolf the Assassin. Mm-hmm. Agallah the Don, Eddie Propane, Brad Piff, Ag Al Ghul. Abdul Swaggerlaw, you know what I mean? It's a lot of waves coming with that, you know what I mean? But yeah, those are some of the reinventations of Adolf the Assassin.
And did you get a lot of flack for the name originally?
Yeah, when I was young, I really didn't know the effect the name would have on people because I spelled it different. It was spelled, Adolf, the number 8 and hyphen off. But it still came out as Adolf, like Hitler. And I went to Germany, man, and I got bad press after the show. This guy really tried to attack me. And I was just like, hold on, bro. I'm not Hitler. You know what I'm saying? I'm not him, but it just happens to be my name spelled different. He just looked like one of these ignorant reporters. And I was like, before I'm gonna let y'all think that I'm gonna ride out with this and ride on this train, I'm gonna keep flipping it on you know what I mean? So that was just it.
How do you make the transition from when you going to rap and produce? Cause hold up, let me set this up. This dude is ill on the beats, like on some other shit. Like definitely, when I think about producers and I think of top producers, you definitely one.
Appreciate that.
Because I heard it and I seen him do it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like I actually seen him. And how do you balance those two?
When I look at it, like I was back in the days, I didn't have a lot of equipment. You know what I'm saying? I only had first equipment I ever had was as far as real beat making was the aKa 950. I didn't even have nothing to trigger with.
Wow. They don't know nothing about that. They're like, trigger, what is he talking about?
Yeah. And I remember hanging with Buster a lot around that time, around the early 90s, and Buster used to come pick me up, and then I would go to his crib and I would watch Buster make beats. And Bust, he used the tone from the 950, and I kind of been around a couple of producers that I kind of like watch what they do. Bobby Crawford, many other cats, Mark the Spark. I was around those dudes when they was on the SP12 and stuff, so I would just look and be like, damn, everybody beats is kind of sounding the same. Maybe I could just, make my own style, and I started experimenting on the MPC 60, and then, that the first demos came out of, my first demos came from there, and I got signed to East West when I made my first single, Ghetto Girl.
And on Ghetto Girl, that was live bass, right?
Yes.
That shit's fire.
We got the Apollo band, the band from the Apollo to play the drums over.
What was that, Rachel and the crew, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
He played the drums over for me because, it was like I wanted to layer the spinning wheel. Spinning wheel was the break, and I wanted to layer
You cleared
that.
it, right?
Huh?
You cleared that sample?
Actually, I chopped it. It was in.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm about to say thank you for just blowing yourself up.
But I chopped it. If you hear the drums, I played them. I had them played over.
Got you.
That's what I'm telling you. I did the beat, and then when I did the beat, it was like it was there, but then it was like, how can I make this sound more live?
That snare is incredible on Ghetto Girls, man. I love that snare.
The Apollo guys played it over, and they, you know, we EQ'd it. We stood there, EQ'd it, and came out with a hit, a classic. You know, and I think just making records like that is all experimentation. This is high science when we dealing with frequencies. You know what I'm saying?
It's something that you said that was one of the questions I was gonna ask you. The tone and the 950. Who was? I ain't gonna front. I seen you kill that tone.
Yeah.
But my favorite besides you, DJ Scratch with that tone.
Oh yeah, man. Scratch had like boom 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 boom. He sound like his basses was like, they sound like a factory, like
yeah.
It sounded like it was a real factory.
That was the tone bass though,
it.
right? With Scratch.
Yes. I think, but him and Bus. See, Bus, this is why Bus likes Scratch so much, because Bus goes crazy over that tone. Anytime he just likes the bass. Bus just likes like
might be his West
he likes
Indian,
that.
his West Indian influence.
There
might
you
be
go.
That, yeah.
But you know, I started really making my own bass sounds with the tone.
No, yeah, no. I remember. I could think of some of the beats that you did, and the shit is a little technical. That shit wasn't that easy. Where you just I remember you chopping it mad times, and then taking each tone for each note, doing that shit like 18 times, and each note was his own shit. I was like, no way I'm doing that shit.
If you loved your music, you gonna do whatever it takes to make it better. It's not done until you release it. I feel like, you know, you could add on, you could keep adding on, but less is more these days. I mean, but back then you really had to, you know, produce it, and really have to have it like sounding solid. That's why a lot of classic albums back then went platinum. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff went platinum, went gold, because it was quality, and you don't got that no more.
When I think about the tone, it was you, DJ Scratch, and Knots.
Oh, happy birthday, Scratch. Yeah, and Pete Rock, my homie.
Pete Rock. Listen, Pete Rock is so over here. I always just keep Pete Rock. You know, that's my favorite producer ever. But I saw you use the tone. Another question about production. Well, I want to deal with production for a quick minute. Mm-hmm. Did you do the Last Days beat?
Okay, here you go. I worked on that beat.
Okay.
It was Fred's idea.
Okay.
But I was work for hire underneath them at the time, and I did like 4 songs, including that one. I worked on the whole project with them.
Because I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
When I heard Last Days, that was your DNA. I said, nah, for me knowing you,
right,
and seeing how you work and knowing your sound,
right.
When I heard that, I said, nah, Adolph did that Last Days.
Yeah,
beat.
we worked on, you know, Fred gave me the Ag Al Ghul sample, and, you know, Sticky just wanted those drums, and I just was like, all right, you know, Sticky and Fred, I'm gonna give it up. They definitely, you know, gave me the idea, but I went and
put the extra seasoning on it.
Yeah, because you know, they was like, flip this. So I would, you know, I used to make live beats for them on stage.
Yeah.
Like we used to go on tour, and they bring me out with the MP, and I would just make a beat right there on the spot in front of like 10,000 people, and they'd be like, oh, and then Sticky would come out rapping over it. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. Because when I look at the producer credit, your name is not on there.
Yeah, it was a lot back then where, you know, they wasn't trying to give me all my credit because of Jam Master Jay. God bless the dead, but they had a contractual agreement that, you know, Jay was the executive producer, you know, and at the end of the day, I was just getting my foot wet with Jam Master Jay. You know, it's like it's like you could be playing with, you know, some real heavy hitters, but if you ain't a heavy hitter, you're gonna have to, you know, build yourself to a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I was doing at that time, was, you know, building my steps, you know, as far as a producer. I appreciate the opportunity that was given, though, you know, because I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, Last Days. But Last Days is one of the greatest beats ever.
I mean, trust me, you know.
This when I heard that, that one set with the singing, and then that's off the same record.
Those are different stabs,
yeah,
chops.
Yeah.
Those are sprinkles, but the main loop.
Drums is the brethren,
The
right?
main loop is Bob James and Ag Al Ghul.
Oh wow! But the drums is the brethren. Right?
Yeah. The drums. Boom, boom, boom,
yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying? But just simple.
Yo, retarded.
Yeah, true story.
The bass, classic record. you've been a part of so many classics. I love the joint that you did on Busta Rhymes too. That's the tone, the things they be doing for money.
Yeah,
part
things
one, right?
that we doing for part 2 with Anthony Hamilton. Before I even knew.
So who Anthony Hamilton? So part 2 is Easy Mo B, right?
No, part 1 is Mo B. Things that we do for money is when Rampage called Busta. Yo, what
it's
you doing?
3:55.
5 in the morning,
yeah.
crack of dawn. Yeah, because it's like
yeah.
the story. It's the story after the fact they do Things for Money part 1, then part 2 coming with Rant, Wake, and Bust Up.
Got you, yo.
And then it's like, yeah.
Got you.
That record, I produced that on an ASR 10. And then most of that beat is not sequenced. It's all played live. I didn't want to sequence it. I just played it live, and then the way everything was sounding, it was like it had a live feel to it in kind of a way, in a kind of a amp type of track. But the way I did it, Busta went crazy, and then he's like, yo, wait till you see what I do with this.
Yeah.
And I just left the studio, came back the next day, Anthony Hamilton in there with a choir, and I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And it just became a classic. I mean,
and now that you say that, because that is Anthony Hamilton.
it is. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, because we didn't know who Anthony Hamilton was.
Yeah, and then man, I like his music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really rock with his music. I'm not just into rap, but he reminds me of like David Ruffin, that kind of way, them kind of sounds.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I still rock over that. You know what I mean?
Yo, because you know what was so crazy about that? When I heard the beat, I said, I don't know, for some reason, I personally know your music. I guess from us producing together and being around each other,
No doubt.
I know your music. Then you was in Purple City. And then
Yeah.
I remember hearing that, but one thing I know about you that the audience might not know, this dude could make a beat on any equipment. He's the only person I ever seen that it don't matter if it's an ASR 10, the SP1200, the 950, the 3000 Logic. He just start making a beat, and I'm like, yo, how the fuck you know how to use that shit? Because me, I was a limited nigga. I only knew the SP1200 and 950.
Yeah.
I mastered that shit. This nigga get on everything.
I was always trying to upgrade equipment because I knew at that time there was more equipment coming out.
Yeah.
And I just was like, well, let me mess with a couple of pieces. It's, I got the Roland 909. I had got that after the MPC, but the Roland had built-in sounds in it. The MP don't got built-in sounds.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they had all these, nice sounds, and you can make your own sounds. And I like producers that actually take the time to make their own sound. Like, whether you using a combinator, now you got, different, like Logic, you have like Reason, people are more, the production now is definitely stepped up. A lot of people have definitely pushed the brink on production in this day and time, I think.
Who's your favorite right now?
I got a few. Duke Westlake, he's one of the dopest up
What
and
is
coming.
he known for?
Well, I did a project with this dude.
Okay, that's good.
I did a project with him. It's called 3 Day Theory. It's on iTunes, all digital platforms. You can check that out. But there's a dude named Knowledge that works with Anderson .Paak. I like his production a lot.
Okay.
I think he got like the balance of now and where we
The
was
nostalgic
at. Yeah.
90s shit.
Yeah, it's 90s, but it's still future.
It's 2018 90s.
Yeah, it's the new boom bap. That's what I call it, the new boom bap. You know what I mean? And this is like when you play with the frequencies. Shout out to Daddy Kev. Shout out to Flying Lotus. Shout out to Gas Slam Killer. Those are like my label mates out in LA. Yeah, we out in LA is a huge beat society now.
Yeah. Because I think Madlib uses the 909, right?
Yes,
Madlib is next level. That's what I'm saying. He's the Pete Rockish, Jay Dilla. Those, when you talk about producers, that's some different shit.
Yeah, Madlib, his brother,
Oh no,
is another beast.
Yeah.
I enjoyed their production a lot. There's a dude named DiBiase. I believe people. He's up and coming right now.
I like Apollo Brown too.
Apollo Brown's dope.
Yeah.
I like Apollo. There's another producer named Lena Fornia. She's a girl.
Wow.
She's a girl. She's from LA. Her beat sets is,
Well, I give them in LA too. They still digging out there.
Yeah, I mean, you got enough kids that will go buy, they will go buy vinyl. They will, they out in their craft. They want to do it in their way though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just seen Large Professor. He asked me, yo, what happened to that beat tape you had for Nas?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't make cassettes no more. But, like he talks about this cassette every time he sees me.
Yo, but you got some beats that I remember that I would have to hum them to you. I ain't gonna do it here. I'm gonna look like an asshole. But I always wanted to know what the fuck, why you didn't place this beat? Where this beat? How many beats have you lost over the years?
Well, there could have been placements. I didn't think I knew the business of placements when I met you. That.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was just building my sound, and I was getting lucky. I around that time, I ran into God's Effects. We were label mates on East West.
Yeah, because you end up doing a lot of PMD after that. But when I met you, you still was you actually was running with Matty a lot.
Yeah, Matt was a producer.
Shout out to Matty C, man. Like, yeah, that's the homie right there. You know what I'm saying?
Matt is a good friend of mine for many years. I know he's our homie, but I learned a lot from him as well on the production. Being around him because he makes tracks.
He was on the SP 1200 950 like me and shit too.
It's like the SP is like.
He used to come to the crib. Yo, I ain't gonna front my crib. Everybody came to my crib.
Your crib was
Biggie
litty.
You, Biggie, Sean Price, and Tech, Maddie, Tech and Steel. Maddie was coming there. Uncle Murder was there too, right?
I know.
It wasn't his name though.
That wasn't his name. Oh wow.
Yeah, he was. That's what I'm saying. He was around. He was a shorty. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I used to be on the block with Uncle Murder. Shout out to him.
Yeah, that wasn't his name though. He was a little dude though.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying. Uncle Murder's coming to the crib too. Because you remember you end up moving around the corner for a little while.
Yeah.
On Washington.
Yeah, I lived there and me and Biggie became friends.
Yeah.
Real good friends, and he I could have been on that Life or Death album. I was this close.
Yeah.
He liked one beat that I had, and he kept telling me.
He was picky as fuck though.
He was loving this one beat that I had. It was definitely like his whole wave. He's like, yo, I want this beat, and then he got murdered, and I never got to get the place.
You still got the beat?
No, I don't.
Yeah. That's why I asked you, how many beats did you lose? Because I know you.
I lost a lot of production over the time because.
The disc used to be, remember you used to come to my crib with mad discs. This nigga had a Scuzzy.
I had the Scuzzy, the MP, and a whole bunch of discs.
I know we talking a language that y'all don't know, but this. If you were a producer and you aspire to be a producer, you definitely have to go back and look at the people. Because I still study like Gamble and Huff and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy that you say Gamble and Huff. I was in a talent search with Gamble and Huff for Gamble. They actually picked me.
Wow.
And I like won the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like an artist competition out in Philly at their record label. Sound of Philadelphia Records, and basically we was over there, and they was like after everything, I jumped in the limo with Gamble and Huff. It was like
wow.
They was like, yo, we like your music. They was like older than me. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know how to really, draft it, but shout to them. Those is real producers we're talking about.
Yeah,
Gamble and
those
Huff,
are music makers, like for real.
Composers, arrangers.
Going back to because I remember you did Rugged and Raw for PMD.
Yes, I did.
You're actually in the video for that.
Shout out to PMD.
And then the Purple City thing that threw me off a little bit. Only reason why,
me off too.
Yeah. Only reason why it threw me off because me knowing you, I know you from the borough.
True story.
So
I'm not from Harlem.
That's what.
Let's make this clear. Right?
Yeah, that's what threw me off because I'm like, yo, people probably gonna think he from Harlem.
Nah, it was the overtone of Shice and Un.
Okay.
I got introduced to them by a friend of mine named D. Doubler. God bless the dead. It was a friend of mine I met on my own. And we became real good friends. Like, you know what I mean? And he heard my music one day and he was like, yo, I know, Shice and Jim Jones.
Uh-huh.
Won't you come through? And I went chill with him, actually, not to like rap or nothing, but like, get money.
Yeah.
And straight up, I started, hanging with them on a whole different level. It wasn't about rap. But then, I was doing my own thing on my own business at Game Records with Jonathan Schechter.
Yes.
And we was putting out records with Royce and Eminem. And,
First.
I was over there just doing my thing on an independent level. They got wind of it. They seen I was getting my own deals, create my own opportunity. You know what I mean? I didn't need to be involved with it, but I did it because Shice was like, yo, man, we should all do this Purple City thing because it was supposed to be a lounge. It was just supposed to be a place where real ones come chill, might throw one up and bounce. What up? You know what I mean? Or, come through and chop it. Long story short, he introduced me to Un. Me and Un, I didn't really click with Un off the rip. You know what I'm saying? I didn't click with him off the rip because, like I said, I'm a Brooklyn dude and he's a Harlem dude. And, New York City, we got our own identities. If you're from Brooklyn,
we used to have that though, yeah, but we used to be segregated like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Brooklyn niggas didn't rock with, and you could tell a Brooklyn dude from a Harlem dude. Now it's all one,
It's not ideable no more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that really made me, understand my place. I said, well, I know they from Harlem. I know I'm probably the only dude from Brooklyn that's around these dudes, so let me act accordingly. Let me just do it on a business level. And I wound up doing 2 albums with these cats, Mm-hmm. After the second album, problems emerged and people went their own way. I basically just opted out. I was like, well, yo, this is it. Don't trip. You guys be all right. I gave you guys the boost you needed. I'm not going to hold your hand your whole life. But, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Now, you do what you want with it, Shice. You can do what you want with Purple City. I'm going to go do what I want with Propane Campaign.
You, the Purple City Bird Gang single, that's all, no samples.
No samples, none at all. Did that on a Triton.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I did. I did that whole beat on the Triton. There was no samples. I did that beat in 5 minutes.
Incredible. You killed it with the Christopher Cross sample on the album. I love that shit. That's my favorite record. Because when I listen to that shit, I be like,
shout to my boy Reckless Grind. He bought the record in. He bought that record in. I didn't, when I heard it, I was like, psh.
You know why I say that shit?
I knew what to do with it because it's cool when another producer gives you a record and he knows what you're gonna do with it. He's like, I want to see what Ag does with this. And that's how some of my dopest beats happen like that. Like when another producer.
Reason why I love that.
Shout to Alchemist. Yeah. Alchemist, we go record shopping. He'll like buy mad records, and then some of the records he's not using, he'll give to me like, yo, see what you could do with it. Cause he's like a beat maker, but really high key collector. So like he ain't trying to keep whack records. If it got like he likes just dope records. That's Al for you.
Reason why I love the winning joint, because when I listened to it, I was like, I wouldn't have used this. I couldn't catch how you caught it. So that's what make me like beats. When I listen to some shit, I'd be like, oh, okay, he killed that right there.
Yeah, like I said, my homie Reckless, he had the idea and he brought it into me, and I just, took it to a whole nother level with it, because he's also the producer. I run with a crew of producers.
Uh-huh.
If your beat's dope, I rock with you. If you got dope production, you get on my ear. And shout to my man Ford Dolo. He got some dope production. There's a new producer on the rise, Ford Dolo. He's under Propane Campaign. We're going to start getting him out. Wait till y'all hear his production. Straight from me, I'm telling you. Y'all hip-hop's about to be great again.
Touchy subject, our friend, brother, Sean Price.
Oh,
y'all did a lot of work together.
A lot of work.
Where was you at when you heard that he passed away?
I was in California. I was going through a lot at the time. My aunt just had breast cancer around that time, and
condolences.
Yeah, true indeed. And then there was just a lot happening. He was just in LA. Before I last seen him again, he was just in LA with me, and we did a show together. I came out on his show, whatever. We had a great time. He flew back to New York. About 3 weeks later, something told me to just tell him I love him. Like, just let him smell the roses, like it's been years. Let that man know, you know what I'm saying, how you feel. You know what I'm saying? I seen a picture on IG of him, and something just told me, yo, contact him. You know what I'm saying? Let him know. You know what I'm saying? And I left a comment on the page. You know what I'm saying? And then, he hit me back like, yo, love, son, you already. You know what I'm saying? Like, he felt that. And then just hearing that from him, you know what I'm saying? Just hearing that was like something else. I didn't know what was going on or whatever, but I could tell something wasn't right with him. Mm-hmm. I could tell because, we didn't rhyme on the phone. It wasn't, I didn't hear from him. And I'm like, then I started hearing like he was going through some depression, or I don't know if it was that. I don't know how all of a sudden that his life would get snatched from the planet.
Yeah,
I just talked to him, and I'm really still a little bit concerned because there's no answers. There's still no real answers to why he passed and why he's not here, and it's like regarding to his health, whatever the case may be, but just something just doesn't. Something didn't add up.
You know what bothered me the most about it is that me and him, he would just always hit me on the DM and say, "Call a crib," and I still got those messages to this day. Like, I refused to erase them.
Wow.
Because that was the extent of me. Me and his relationship was extensive, but he just always wanted to talk to me about some shit that was happening that he saw based off of some interview I did. And it's just like, just that shit just always fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, always fuck with me.
Damn.
And just him just being who he is. And
I just spoke to shout to Bernadette.
Yeah.
His memory though, I'm gonna keep the torch up for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my music, I've been ever since he passed away. I just been making sure my fans remember who he is.
Y'all immortalized anyway from Grand Theft Auto together. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the gift and the curse, because there's so many more records that me and him got. You know what I'm saying? But that one just happened to be like on a video game.
Is that a Dexter Wenzel sample?
Yes, it is.
I know that record too. Somebody just used that shit too.
Somebody just used it?
Wow. I'm gonna tell you who just used it. No, the Dexter Wenzel sample. Damn, you know what? After this interview, I'm gonna fuck it because I heard somebody use it, because I used it too before. But it's because it's little kids talking and that shit and all that shit. Right. Yeah, they used the part that I used. Damn, who used it? Sorry, I can't think of it right now. Later on, I'm gonna call you and say it was such and such. But the Grand Theft Auto, y'all did that. That was via Game Records, right?
Yeah, well, this is how it happened. Stretch Armstrong contacted Game.
Okay.
He's like, I want all the artists from Game to be on this mixtape. Game Radio. We're gonna call it Game Radio on it's supposed to be a mixtape for the Game. Then it wound up being on the Game.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, y'all put music on video games now? And I didn't know what, I just made a song. I just called Sean. I said, yo, we're going to the studio. We're going to lay this song. And he brought his son.
Y'all recorded that by PF?
No, we recorded that on off Avenue A.
Shout out to PF Cutting too.
Yeah, shout out to Alejandro.
Yeah.
And we recorded on Avenue A. And he came with his son to the studio, and I had my verse laid already. He laid his verse, and we just, we loved it. We was loving it. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And he was like, yo, let's just finish it off. We'll go back to back on the last verse. And at the end of the day, working with him was amazing, man. There'll never be another Sean Price.
Ever.
There will never be not one like him. Probably the closest person that spits like him right now is Illa G.
Yeah.
And
that was his other partner.
Yeah. Illa definitely, complimented him well too. I know Peace since 5 years old. You know, when we traded Coleco and Atari cartridges, like we was 5. You know what I mean? Playing in the sandbox, going to Bessie Head and all that. You know what I mean? Brownsville stuff.
It's another record that you did that a lot of people don't know. Well, I want to tell you one thing too. The 4 Top sample, 7 Rooms, you murdered that shit. Yo, that right there, is that live bass on it? Or you just found a play the keyboard?
That bass. I was using.
Give them the name of the record so they could go check it out.
It's called 5 Star Millers. 5 Star Millers. And that was released on Game Records.
Yeah. That's why That's since we was in the Game Record thing. I was wanting to talk about that.
Yeah, that was the first single that John allowed me to put out with the Cookie Monster single. He wanted me to do that. He was like, "Yo, man, remember that freestyle you busted on the Source magazine roof, and you just came out, started rhyming like the Cookie Monster?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You seriously? You want me to do a whole song sound like the Cookie Monster?" He's like, "Yes, I'm gonna pay you." I was like,
"All right."
I was like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I really, it was fun. It was just something fun to do.
Yo, but that 5 Star Miller joint, because this is back with hip hop site, those websites and shit like that. When I heard that shit, I was like, yo, this my man and all that, but I gotta gank this 4 Top shit. That shit so, cause that shit, yo, you murdered that shit though.
I didn't, when I made that beat, it was another record I did called Remains on Who Kid Rewind DVD. The video is on there, and I'm on the last part of the Who Kid Rewind DVD with 50 Cent on the cover. And like that song that was on there wound up getting a lot of response from a lot of people all over when they hear the bars. Nigga be like, yo, this ain't no fucking game. Think I'm gonna be out here busting my brain and I get $1 or a dime for this pain, for the fame and the glory. Doggie, the story the same. Tell them to smoke weed, put alcohol in their veins. Tell them to jerk cabs, jump turnstiles on the train. Tell them to stand up, sell dope and sell cane. Boom. And when niggas heard that, they was like, yo, this nigga's on one. Yeah. Straight up. He's on one. Like, he's not playing. And I as a producer is one thing, but nobody wanted to give me a beat. And I felt like I had to make my own soundtrack. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell y'all another thing. This dude could fucking freestyle for like 10 hours straight and shit. Like,
it's a problem. It becomes addictive.
Yeah.
Shout to SuperNet. Another
sneaky beat that you did that people don't know that you did is the Mobb Deep joint,
True Lies.
When I heard that, I said
another 950 tone.
Yeah, yo, that's why I knew it. When I heard the doom doom doom, I said, "Oh, that's Agallah."
I think that
right
was
there.
the staple for me to use the 950 tone, cause I remember, man, dudes used to have Alpine systems.
Yeah.
And man, the Alpine system. If you put your music in the Alpine system and your man got the amp with the bass, that tone gonna rock the whole block. You in Brooklyn, your trunk rattling when you use that bass. Your trunk straight rattling. You know what I mean?
Why wasn't that was white labeled?
Which song?
The True Lies.
The True Lies never got dropped. It was just an unreleased Mobb joint. You can find it. You can find it now on YouTube. Yeah, now.
Reason why I'm saying that because rest in peace to Prodigy. It was just his born day.
Yes, sir.
People don't know that's one of Prodigy's best verses ever.
Yeah,
on the True Lies. That's like I could tell he read like 3 Dr. York books. And you could tell he talking about the garden. You know what I'm saying? Like he
was deep.
Yeah,
he was deep.
He read like 3 Dr. York books and wrote that rhyme. I'm telling you that because that shit was just so the beat is retarded.
P didn't like to talk a lot at times. He just a lot around. He'll talk, but the way P rapped. Those were conversations. That's what he was having was conversations with the people. He was trying to bring people, to a whole nother audience. You know what I'm saying? And shout to the Mobb. I really got my beats better rocking with having P, because they took me in when I was like 17, 18, and I used to go to P grandmother's house in Long Island and make beats on the ASR because I didn't know how to use the ASR.
Yeah.
So I would watch Havoc on the ASR before Havoc gave his ASR 10 to Lil Dap from Group Home. So, you know what I mean?
You guys got some hip hop history just now.
Yeah, true facts. Like, you know what I mean? Dap and Hav was mad cool. Havoc gave Lil Dap the ASR 10.
And he bought the MP62, right?
Yeah, and Hav was on the 3000. When Havoc got the MP3000, he just was making beats on that. And, you know, Havoc's one of the best producers in the game, period.
Yeah.
You know, Pete would love, you know, hear my beats and be like, yeah, your shit's dope. And then, you know, Pete would love my rhymes. Like, I just seen an article that after Prodigy passed, I did, you know, it was like an old article. And they asked Mobb Deep, yo, what groups you listening to when you not doing your own thing? He said Redman, Black Moon, Smith & Wesson. Then they said Adolf the Assassin. And then he was like, yo, is he out? And he's like, nah, he coming out on Tommy Boy real soon. But I never came out on Tommy Boy. I wound up switching labels. So, you know, yeah, it was just...
Who got the clean version to True Lies, though? That shit, because everything we hear is like dirty. Who got...
Maddie C and me. Maddie would have it somewhere, I believe, on that probably, yeah. In the files, in the frozen files. Shout to Scott Free.
Shout out to Scott Free. Nah, but we need a clear version of that, because the shit on YouTube...
Yeah, it's muffled.
It's a little muffled, but that beat is retarded.
Yeah, I you know, I couldn't, you know, since they were loud record artists, I had to turn in the master because, you know, basically somebody at Loud got it. Somebody at Loud has it. It was a record that we did in the studio.
Yeah, that shit.
And they came in and laid it. It's definitely on that. It's probably in their archives. Maybe they will release it on the unreleased versions of Mobb Deep.
That shit fire. That's one of Prodigy's. Look up True Lies.
If you never heard Agallah and Prodigy song, check it out. It's called Rich and Infamous. Put out a special tribute to Prodigy. I also did a song with PMD called Agallah Prodigy Tribute. They can look that up. Check out the Rich and Infamous by Agallah and Prodigy, and also check out Tiptoe by Agallah and Prodigy. Facts.
All right, so we gave him a little bit of history. So a lot of times people be like, man, who the hell is that you interviewing sometimes? But I interview people that I fuck with. Facts. And I'm fans of.
Facts.
And not only do I know you personally, you definitely get it in all forms of entertainment.
It's an honor.
2018, you've done released mad projects over the years.
Yes.
What project you currently on right now?
The new project, the album comes out at midnight. It's called Ag Al Ghul, No Mercy for the Weak.
So by the time this come out, the album will be
album will be everywhere. Digitally, Apple, iTunes, Tidal, Amazon, Spotify. You can order the album on Bandcamp, or you can holler at me direct with that bread. I do not care. I do not refuse bread.
Yeah, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel now we have more control as artists. Yeah. You know, we have more
direct to consumer.
And I feel like with that being said, you know, knowing that you have a big, huge market right now of many new artists, you know what I'm saying? Because they're using the internet and they're using that social media audience to get to their fans. My fans wasn't on social media.
Hell no. Wasn't even on MySpace.
No, they wasn't. And I must admit, I was way advanced as an artist then. Even though I didn't have these social media tools, I still was getting signed. I still was ripping shows. I still did all that without any social media. So now it's like a blessing to have, you know, you can contact this person through this site or whatever the case may be, but I still handle it with, you know, a business mentality, handle it, you know, accordingly, you know, make sure, you know, your work is curated properly, you know what I'm saying, in this day and time, you know what I mean? You don't want to be looking like an old dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, how many joints on the album?
There's 19 records on the album, really 16 with 4 skits, but 19.
So, you know, nowadays, records. The way these niggas is doing it, that's equivalent to like 4 albums now and shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I come from my era of people, I mean, they was doing EPs like that too. I mean,
it was called an EP. Now they're trying to switch it and say it's an album.
Nah, you don't want to put your. I mean, what it is the fact that people's attention spans has gone down this much, and I think that's what is holding artists back, the attention span for making 19 records. But my stuff, you know, if you read a comic book, right, like how many pages is in the comic book? Like maybe 19.
Yeah, I don't even think it's that much.
20 pages in one comic book. You know, whatever the case may be, that's how I looked at this whole project, because I'm a fan of Ag Al Ghul, Batman. You know, Gotham, New York. I'm from Brownsville, that one. It's like my world. You know, I'm creating a world within the world we live in. But you know what I'm saying? It's on this whole project, and it's basically the moral of the story is on the album is no mercy for the weak. You know what I'm saying? You have to really, really, you know, put yourself at a level where you're going to bump into enemies, you're going to bump into villains along the way, you're going to bump into haters along the way. Distractions is going to be there. You just got to stay focused. And, you know, nobody wants to see you weak. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no mercy on that in this day and time. I feel like, you know, when Extension got hit up, people didn't even call it 911. They went and put their cell phone on them. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all ain't got. That's no mercy for the weak, bro.
Yeah.
They could have called ambulance for that man, but instead they decided to pull out their goddamn phone and tape him dead, and that's wrong. And they got it on World Star, and I feel like, you know, Q ain't here. I don't know who running World Star now, but at the end of the day, they should take that down, because that man, family life. Whatever he did when he was
I think
live,
if Q was alive, that shit's still been up there. Cause that shit been going on for World Star since they started. He would have still did that shit. So
Q would have still went there.
Hell yeah.
But for that man, I think being that he's a kid, 20 years old.
No, but you have different morals, values, and principles that we live in a time where that's why your album is called what it's called.
No mercy for the weak.
Nobody cares. You like you know, a baby could die and somebody would be like, fuck that baby. Like, what's wrong with you?
They just killed a 17-year-old kid in PA like yesterday. Cops killed him. He was only 17. He was unarmed. That's no mercy for the weak. The cops killing us, you know, like freely. Like they're. I was watching Colin Kaepernick something when he was saying, and Colin was just, you know, drawing attention to, you know, we on a police state. Mm-hmm. You know, we in a, you know, we slave patrols, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, putting us right in prisons, you know what I'm saying, at young ages. Like we you know, the chances for black man's life in in America has gotten slimmer.
Yeah.
And we gotta, you know, come as a collective. That's what, you know, I feel Colin Kaepernick, what he was saying about right now, people need to come together as a collective, stop the violence on each other, you know, really understand what's going on as far as the society that we're living in, because, you know what I mean, the culture's being swept right under our feet. Number one, they're taking what we created and saying it's theirs now. Like, we live in America where somebody could create something, one brand of people, and the next thing you know, it's owned by somebody, it's owned by another race.
The culture vultures.
Yeah, the culture vultures. So it's kind of like, you know, it's cool for dudes to steal your shit now.
Yeah, the bite. What's all your social media?
Oh, Agallah Music, AGALLAHMUSIC. They can also follow me on Twitter, Agallah the Don. And you on
Facebook too?
Yeah, we on SoundCloud, but you know, go add me on Spotify. I want people to add that page.
Yeah. What's the Spotify?
Agallah the Don. Agallah Don Bishop. Yeah.
All right. So before we go, you hopefully by the time this airs, the situation will be deaded. I seen you have a little exchange with Westside Gunn and Conway. They're new artists coming out. You're a veteran in the game. I don't really care the backstory.
Right.
I don't even want to promote y'all problems.
Right.
I just want to try to. What's a viable solution?
You know, I mean, there's really a level of respect that I think when I came in here, we was having this conversation. About the new generation disrespecting the older generation in hip hop, and it's been more than blatant, more than, you know, chaotic, and I think, you know, starting there, giving a respect to the people that laid the way, you know, whether they not your favorite artists or not, but they're still celebrated as legendary people, and they still have these accolades. You cannot erase that. And we want the young dudes to be great. We want you to be great, but don't dare step on the shoes of a legend that because I still look up to Grandmaster Cass. I still look up to Big Daddy Kane. To y'all? I still look up to Biz Markie. I just saw
Biz yesterday.
I still look up to
You just went to see Kane yesterday.
I still look up to them.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them, I don't think it wouldn't be no West Side. It wouldn't be no Conway. If it wasn't for Ray and Ghost, I don't think it would even be them. And Ray and Ghost older than me, and I show them respect because they older than me and they elders. What's wrong? Niggas feel like they don't want to. When you're not getting younger, you're getting older. So like all that young shit is just to psych yourself out shit. You're getting older by the second and minute, bro.
I just for me, them being new artists that I actually like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not doubting the taste.
No, I'm just saying for us, I just think via social media it gets out of control. Fans start getting into it, and everybody got an opinion. But I don't think a lot of times we come up with the solution. So how do we dead it? How do it? In one of your ways, you feel like just showing a little bit more respect. Is it a conversation that needs to be had? Is it a mediator? Because I don't want my platform to be where.
No. I mean, my thing is, I gave that man my number. He can call me. That's it.
Okay.
I gave him my number. I still ain't get the call. But you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a grown man. You hearing it from me, bro. It's really not that serious. It's not overbred. It's about respect. And we all need to have respect for each other in this day and time, especially what happened to Extension. So
that's why I'm going.
I'm all for the, speaking with him and chopping it up, but I don't really know that man to say where he stand at right now, because at the end of the day, we both got albums coming out today. I mean, he's got an album coming out. I got an album coming out. I want everybody. I wish death or no ill will on nobody. But when I get my DM, when people go on my DM and I see effery, what I'm saying? It becomes a whole different thing. And I'm like, I'm not here to let no man distract me. I'm not here to stop your money. You ain't gonna stop my money at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because I just got a check producing for one of their idols. Yeah. So it's like, I'm not there. I'm just like, as a 44-year-old hip-hop artist, you know what I mean? I garner my respect. I come from a place of respect, and we ain't gonna tolerate nothing else but respect, because we give respect to get it.
Yeah, so everybody, that's really it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody show love and respect. And the dope thing sometimes, out of disagreements, you get together and you make some dope ass music, because I'm pretty sure you could lace them with some beats. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see out of shit. I want to see some. Let's go to the art. Remember back in the days, niggas used to beef, niggas breakdance, niggas do different things, but it was all about the arts.
Right.
So it don't got to be diss records. It don't have to be DMs. It don't have to be fucked up phone calls. The fans, sometimes y'all got to just mind your fans got to stay out of it sometimes.
Right.
Their fans got to stay out of it. Chris Benoit is coming out. Your album is coming out.
Right.
It's room for everybody to eat, especially at this day and time. It got to be more, because it didn't get serious yet. That's the only reason why I'm saying. Sometimes it be out of my control. Niggas already have fucking physical shit. It ain't nothing I could do. I can't play peacemaker. But before it go anywhere stupid on your side or their side,
right,
let's go back to the music.
I mean, I'm all for that, at the end of the day.
And he's not, because look, this is what I want the world to know. He's not copping out. He's not saying this. I'm saying this. And I want their side to see that this is where we could be as men. We didn't even talk about this. I didn't even know he had this situation until he just told me a minute ago prior to the interview. Yeah. And my thing with everybody is, let's just try to resolve shit before it get too crazy, and then we can't resolve it.
No doubt. I mean, at the end of the day, we all grown men. We should be able to talk things out. People should be able to pick up the phone and talk.
Facts.
I'm not the belligerent type. I actually am a domesticated man. You know what I'm saying? I want to get married one day, have a family. Do the right thing. I only can speak for myself.
Yeah.
And to all my peoples out there that's listening to the, that's watching this right now, know that, you know what I'm saying, like, for the past 20 years, I've been helping nothing but artists in this game blow up. Just let me put that out there. For the last 20, I have not been here trying to tear down another artist, tear down another man of color. That's never been my thing. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, like I said, when it's higher levels, it's higher devils. You know what I mean? And right now, you got to play at your own risk. You know what I'm saying? And that's why my album is called No Mercy for the Weak.
And it's out right now. Y'all can pick that up on every streaming platform.
Yes.
Y'all can follow him on all his social media. You're going to see it popping up in the video. His social media is going to be there. The album artwork is going to be there at the end of this video. So with that, this is the homie. He going to come back. He's on the West Coast now. So, he grace us Brooklyn niggas with his presence.
I'm never leaving New York.
Yeah, yeah.
New York is never going to leave me.
Yeah.
Put it like that.
Say that.
New York is never going to leave
that.
me. That one.
But he's out there. But sometimes you got to travel and go see different cultures because it broadens your horizon.
I mean,
musically. And
the game is, the game is definitely, triple folded now. Where you got kids that that are just doing hip hop. It's not about being a thug. It's not about being a tough guy. It's not about now it's like you got these kids that are pansexual coming out. They pansexual,
yeah.
and I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm good on that.
Yeah, I'm like, everybody has a voice, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, remember back in the days, the rapping Duke, the hard. That's what that is. It's people. It's something out there for everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't do that other stuff. I just stick to my boom bappery, and that's it. Hardcore boom bap. That's what you're getting with Ag. That's it. And you might get a commercial record when the money's right, but you're gonna get the hardcore boom bap from me.
And on that note, I'm Doggie Diamonds. We out of here. Peace. Pansexual. No. All right. I got to get the fuck out of here. Thank you for listening to Doggie Diamonds No Filter podcast. If you like this podcast, make sure you share this. Spread the word. Talk about it. Argue with me. I don't give a fuck what you do. Leave a comment. This is Doggie Diamonds. I'm out of here. See you on the next podcast. Peace.
Doggie Diamonds did this.